Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and friends at John Belushi's funeral in 1982. Bernhard Otto Holtermann. Next to the Holtermann slab, a gold nugget weighing 285 kilograms, 83.2 kilograms of pure gold. Hill End, New South Wales, Australia, 1872. Photo for the cover of the album Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, 1975. Eli Bowen was a victim of phocomelia, a genetic condition that left him with only flipper-like feet. Bowen was also an accomplished acrobat and possessed incredible physical strength. Freaky high school fashion of the hippie era, 1969. Elizabeth Taylor in the 1970s. Space Santa, 1960s. A Soviet partisan armed to the teeth, 1943. Dental X-ray machine, circa 1960. Model Betty Page, changing clothes at an outdoor photo shoot, 1954. Hairstyles from 1968. British soldier lights a cigarette for an Ivan tracker. Sarawak, Borneo, 1950. All personal belongings of the Indian politician and philosopher Mahatma Gandhi. A beluga caught in the Caspian Sea, 1910. Displayed at V.F. Bobkov's shop on Balchug. Weighed 1,152 kilograms, 72 poods. Prohibition ends, 1933. Beer becomes legal at Belmont Grill, 464 South Main Street, downtown Los Angeles. Freddie Mercury aboard a Shinkansen bullet train departing from Nishinomiya, Japan, en route to Nagoya as part of Queen's Hot Space Tour, October 25, 1982. Americans preparing to send a bomb behind German lines, Christmas 1944. On the set of the film Forrest Gump in 1993, Michael J. Fox with his stunt doubles on the set of Back to the Future Part 2, 1989. Alexei Leonov became the first person in history to walk in outer space in 1965. Early skate safety hack, 1924. Women shop for dinner with rollers in their hair, 1960s. Joseph Stalin smiles after signing the Non-Aggression Pact between Germany and the USSR, August 23, 1939. Jack Nicholson, Dennis Hopper, and Michelle Phillips, 1970. Icelandic men celebrate the lifting of the ban on beer. Iceland, 1989. President Kennedy claps to keep time as his children Carolyn and John Jr. dance in the Oval Office in October of 1962. Drew Barrymore with Mr. T at the People's Choice Awards, 1983. Patricia Bourne training lions to stand on their hind legs in the annual Bertram Mills Circus at Olympia, London, 1935. Scooters from 1935 in Miami. A man runs across the Tacoma Bridge during its destruction, 1940. The first known photograph of an elephant, 1850. A functional mechanical horse, equipped with a 5-horsepower gasoline engine, was developed by Italian engineer D. G. Alzetta, Italy, 1933. '42, 1942, Japanese flutists wearing wicker headgear. The first Academy Award ceremony. Sofia Vergara, 1990s. An American man holds his Filipino wife and children, 1920s. Motorcycle chariot races in London, 1927. Stevie Wonder at a children's home for the blind in London, 1970. Fitness in the United States, 1899. President Ford shows off his Pele skills. A nightclub in Paris where everyone chooses the music to dance to, adjusting it in their headphones. 1963. Uzbek schoolgirls in a math class, Tashkent, 1921. Mickey Mouse and Minnie inspecting the toy soldiers. 1933. Goats in a Harness in National Park, New York, 1904. Workmen dismantling a clock, 1930. Political deportees walk away from the Arc de Triomphe after a ceremony to rekindle the flame on the tomb of the unknown soldier, 1945. White man using a black boy as a footstool, slave treatment in Kentucky during the 1800s. Jackie Chan. Fred with Tires, 1984. Punk Girls in Stockport Town Center in 1983. A hired clown for a girl's birthday celebration in 1967. Snow drifts after the blizzard of 1966 in New York State, February 1st, 1966. Parents and teachers hold a meeting outside because a group of pro-segregationists led by Manning Gash had taken over the meeting room Annandale High School, Fairfax, Virginia, 30th of April, 1954. Chorus girls at the Music Box Theater, now the Fonda Theater at 6126 Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles, United States, circa 1927. Martin County was a physician who saved over 7,000 premature babies when medicine didn't yet believe they could be nursed back to health. In the early 20th century, he used incubators to give babies a chance. Eric Bana, 1980s. Walt Disney as a Red Cross ambulance driver in France after World War I, c. 1919. Vintage Coca-Cola vending machine, 6 cents per bottle, 1950s. In Berkeley, Oakland City, California, demonstrators march against the war in Vietnam in December of 1965. Lady Diana falling asleep during an official royal engagement, 1981. She was actually pregnant with Prince William at the time, but her pregnancy had yet to be announced. Betty Brosmer, 1950s. A Girl Hugs a Chicken Tightly, North Carolina, 1910s. The Dion quintuplets, Yvonne, Annette, Cécile, Emily, and Marie, were born on May 28, 1934, near Callander, Ontario, Canada. They were the first known set of quintuplets to survive infancy. Confession during the traditional Catholic pilgrimage from Paris to Chartres, 1953. John recording Tomorrow Never Knows for Revolver, 1965. A massive tornado and lightning storm struck Miami Beach on June 15, 1985. Teenage boys decide who will bat first by playing the hand-over-hand game with a baseball bat in Des Moines, Iowa, 1945. Each takes turns gripping the bat higher until one reaches the top. In the early days of steam power in the 19th century, locomotive boiler explosions were a common occurrence. The first aircraft takeoff from a warship. On November 14, 1910, aviator Eugene Burton Ely made the first takeoff from the makeshift deck of the aircraft carrier Birmingham in a Curtiss biplane. Hampton Roads, Virginia, 1910. A Tarawa native wearing traditional Kiribati armor, plating woven from coconut fibers, and a helmet fashioned out of a pufferfish, 1925. Jane Mansfield in A Visit to Blackpool, England, September of 1959. Conquistador Fall. An indigenous man topples a statue of Spanish conquistador Diego de Mazariegos on the 500th anniversary of the discovery of America. Chiapas, Mexico, 1992. A photo of D-Day veterans sitting across from their younger selves. Sharon Tate, 1968. This is what a Volvo car looked like in 1973. Photo of one of the last public talks of Frederick Douglass on March 26, 1892. Child laborers at a packing plant, Baltimore, Maryland, 1909. Two detectives display a suitcase containing explosives used in an attempted bank robbery, 1932. Teddy Boys, London, 1954 to 1955. Working-class youth turning Edwardian fashion into rebellion. Sharp suits, slick hair, rock and roll and attitude. The streets became their stage and confidence their weapon. John and Julianne Lennon. Fagan is a Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer television star. A prisoner caught in a net, Haut Ubangi, 1905. Henry Lamott celebrates his 70th birthday by jumping 15 meters into a barrel of water, 1974. A Russian Cossack in firing position behind his horse, 1915. Endurance trapped in pack ice, 1915. Roy Scheider on the set of Jaws. Marilyn Monroe in a very early shot for a small local shot in 1944. Keegress track vehicle, a half-track car fitted with skis and a continuous track system, which was used by Tsar Nicholas II and later by Lenin. The photograph is dated 1917, during the Russian Revolution. 1990, American escape artist Joseph Burris buried himself alive, following his role model Harry Houdini. The coffin, dug 2 meters deep, collapsed after 7 tons of concrete was poured over it. In the 1890s, teacher Aunt Huckabee taught in a small, one-room cabin near Taylor Creek. Kurt Cobain reveals that Courtney is the best lovemaker in the world. Seattle, Washington, July 1993. Army priest in a camouflage cassock. Vietnam, 1968. The onset of the Dust Bowl in the western United States in 1975 The giant Edouard Beaupré. Edouard Beaupré was not only incredibly tall, almost 2.5 meters, but also an extraordinary strongman. He was a regular participant in wrestling stunts, lifting a live horse on his shoulders. Parisian women rip a Christian Dior dress from a model, 1947. The excessive use of fabrics in Christian Dior's creations was considered by many to be excessive, at a time when France was struggling with the aftermath of war. Sylvester Stallone directing John Travolta behind the scenes of Staying Alive, 1983. People lined up in a snake-like formation on the beach, 1930s. Anglo-Iranian oil company vehicle, 1950s. Military aircraft fly over the Statue of Liberty, circa 1935. Ronald Reagan and Barbara Stanwyck pose for a promo still for Cattle Queen of Montana, 1954. The Look That Said Enough, Gloria Richardson, 1963. Elvis Presley and Sophia Loren, 1958. Fireman cools the peloton down during the 1950 Tour de France. Ozzy Osbourne in an Illinois basement, 1976. An apparent swing shortage at a Chicago beach, Illinois, 1930. Britney Spears, 1990s. Frida Kahlo at age 18, 1926. Drew Barrymore, 1982. John Lennon on a skateboard, 1965. Bucharest, Romania. The overthrow of the Ceausescu regime. December 22, 1989. A French woman riding an ostrich on the outskirts of Paris, 1910. Three children sitting on an alligator on the beach, 1930s. Kurt Cobain with his daughter, September 1992. A woman dives into the water. Punk, United Kingdom, 1980s. Photos from the set of The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. Claudia Cardinale poses with her footwear collection, circa 1960s. Michael Jackson drops the puck at a game between the Vancouver Canucks and Pittsburgh Penguins, Canada, 1984. Model with Soviet women during a Dior fashion show in Moscow, USSR, 1959. Moscow transport at the turn of the epochs, 1939.